And we're back. Up next podcast with your host, Jesse, a.k.a. Jeezy, a.k.a. whatever the fuck you want to call me. We have here our next guest, Ms. Liliana. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name is Liliana. I am Elbili's mother, who you just spoke to.
Yes, our previous podcast guest was here, and yes, you are the mom. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
So I am, I guess you could say, your typical white girl Mexican.
White girl Mexican. I like that. Why do you say that?
I grew up in
Obviously, your
Huntington
appearance
Beach.
is one, but go ahead.
I grew up in Huntington Beach, so I grew up around, a lot of the white surfer kids, and there wasn't a lot of Hispanics in the area that I grew up in. I mean, Orange County being kind of rich area. It was a lot of either there was Chinese or Oriental and a lot of white people. So I was your odd kid out. I mean, I was born in Mexicali. I grew up in Mexicali until I was 6 years old.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so I mean, what do you remember from back then?
Well, I started school at the age of 3 years old.
Really? So preschool, huh?
No, I was in kindergarten at 3 years old.
3 years old in kindergarten. Is that what they called it back then?
It was kindergarten. My mom put me in early, and I was smart enough and up to date.
Well, that's good.
They accepted me.
So it's kind of crazy. Like most 3-year-olds or 2-year-olds, like I've only met one 2-year-old, and I found it incredibly fascinating that I could hold a conversation. Most kids are still figuring out their words and, barely putting together a sentence or two.
My mom says I was born with a spoon and a fork in my hand. I mean, the minute I started eating, I never was your typical baby that grabbed food with their fingers. And
that's awesome.
She says I always wanted a fork, a spoon, and even, a butter knife because they weren't going to give me anything sharp. But she says that I always, wanted to be very proper, and I did everything way ahead of my time.
Nice.
The only thing I was really bad with, stories that my grandma always told, was I was a horrible eater.
Horrible how? Like what? You didn't finish your food, or you just throw it, or what?
No, they just couldn't get me to eat. Period.
Okay, so you're a very picky eater.
No, not at all. It was more, life was more important than eating.
So you'd rather just be running around, climbing on rocks and trees, and
they couldn't get me to sit down to get me to eat. And it wasn't that I wasn't hungry. It was just, and even now I still have that problem.
Okay. Well, kids do that. So I could see, they rather go run off and play and run around. So that's cool. It's healthy.
Yeah, so she would tell the family that she would have to grab me and sit me up on the branch of a tree in front of the house so that I was still outside and I could still look around and see what was going on, but she could still, get me to sit in one place and pretty much force feed me because that's the only way I'd eat.
Yeah, okay. And what do you remember about that time?
Well,
what stands out to you?
My mom was a single mom at the time.
Okay.
So it was just pretty much me and her.
Oh.
And because she worked, I would travel all over Mexico with my grandmother. Oh. So I got to see a lot of places in Mexico by the time I was 5 years old. My grandmother was a very important role in my life. I would say that it was more like my grandmother was my mother, and my mother was like my sister, or
I could see
a close friend.
I get it. I mean, because obviously she was more older authority and your mom was younger, so okay.
Yeah, and it was just me and her, really. So most of the time I was with grandma. And my biological father, I did not know him until I was much older. I didn't meet him until I was in my 20s. So, being that single mother, only child kid, I was super spoiled. I got passed around from aunts to uncles. I got to spend summers, in TJ with one of my aunts. I got to go to, just all sorts of places that kids can only imagine. And it was also
so that probably what kind of got a little travel bug in your head about like later down the road.
Yeah, I think that's where it all started. I've always been interested in different places, adventurous, exploring, and
okay. And so, let's fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about a little bit about right now what you do, and tell us a little bit about your family and now.
Well, as to what I do,
I know it's so broad of a question. I'm like, I asked you like probably 3 questions in one, but go ahead.
Well, it's kind of been a long path. You start one place, and lately I've been, putting in applications for different jobs and trying to get my foot in the door kind of in my degree, because I got my bachelor's a couple years ago.
Bachelor's in what?
Human services psychology, which is, I think, kind of the reason I really decided to go in kind of that route to psychology.
Yeah.
And right now what I do isn't necessarily related to my degree or doesn't require the degree. So trying to get my foot in the door, but
you want to utilize it.
Yeah, I feel like, if I spent, $60,000 in student loans, the least I can do is use it.
Yeah.
So, right now, I'm working for IHP, the Inland Empire Health Plan.
Okay.
I'm in member services. But the roadblock.
What's your experience there?
I love the company. I love what they're about. It's just, again, the department or the job position that I'm currently in does not require a degree. And we kind of fluctuate to help out other teams. And I'm never really doing my specific job. I'm kind of doing
multiple roles.
Yes. And it's kind of hard sometimes when you're shifting, like, okay, 1 minute I'm taking member services call, the next minute I'm working on emails, and the following minute I'm assisting another department with something completely different that has nothing to do with it. And even though it doesn't sound difficult, your brain kind of has to shift on the duties that you're doing, and it's completely different aspects of the job. So it gets a little wearing.
I bet it could be mentally taxing.
It is. And my job isn't physical, but it is very mental. Yeah. It really is.
Having to deal with a lot of people that just want answers, and damn it.
Well, I'm dealing with Medi-Cal and Medicare members, which also, not just, it's no longer, before Medi-Cal and Medicare was just your low income or, homeless population, but now it's kind of a more broad spectrum. You don't have to be that low income to qualify anymore. It's kind of, they want to make sure that everyone has health coverage. So I'm not just dealing with the people with, the financial situations. So where one moment I might be dealing with somebody that actually has an education, might know what they're talking about. The next minute, I could be dealing with somebody that can't even tell me why they're calling.
Yeah, just kind of mouth breather, just like, I go, what?
Well, and it's hard, so a lot of them do have mental health issues.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We do have a department for behavioral health, but a lot of times when they do call in, they don't even know that they need it. Yeah. They're just kind of, well, I've got this issue and I've got that issue.
A little delayed.
Yeah, and you just kind of have to read between the lines, and that can be a little wearing on you too during the day, that people aren't forthcoming with their needs. You kind of have to read between the lines or pry it out of them. And you have to decide before it even comes out of your mouth, how to say things to people without offending them and telling them, hey, like, by the way, I think you need to talk to me.
Well, I can imagine you have to be very politically correct during the times. You can't be very direct or blunt. You have to kind of tiptoe around what they're really trying to get at. And I can imagine it's a little bit of a mental gymnastics.
You just gotta tell them, like, hey, were you aware that we offer this?
Yeah, by the way. Yeah. Did you hit the right department? Did you really need me? Anyways, let's go back to your younger self. Let's talk about when you were much younger, and where did you kind of like start? I mean, obviously you said you grew up in Mexico for a little bit, and then you made it out here to Huntington Beach, and then you made it out here to Moreno Valley. How was your experience? Like, what stands out to you? Like during that time, that transition?
Well, for me, I loved Huntington Beach. I loved Orange County. I already had, really good friends out there. I kind of had my life. I had a friend who's...
How old were you when you did leave?
I was in my early teens. I want to say 12 or 13, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And yeah, when we came to Moreno Valley, to me, this was, the fudge Egypt. I mean, there was nothing out here.
Yeah, well, I don't know what year that was, but I can imagine that during that time, probably not a whole lot.
Ellie was a year old.
Okay.
Okay.
Ellie, your sister.
Yes. Ellie was a year old when we came out here. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was like 82, 83. I want to say somewhere around there. So there was nothing out here. It was just a bunch of fields. My school wasn't even a physical classroom. It was, those trailers that they used to put out on the fields.
The temporary trailers that ended up being permanent.
Yeah. So, okay, I lived off of Paris and JFK. And the school bus would pick me up at the corner there. I mean, this was back when the Circle K was right there at the corner. They got torn down years later.
Isn't it still there?
No, it's a little park now. That Circle K is gone.
I'm thinking of the Circle K that's on Heacock and Heacock and JFK.
Yeah. No, this was the one on Paris and...
oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The one that's on Paris and what's that street called? I don't know the street.
Yeah, so
the little
you're
one
coming out of the housing track where my mom
I remember that. That was around 2014, 2013.
Yeah.
So it was right around that time that it did get torn down.
Yeah.
I remember that was kind of one of those spots that you'd go in there. They didn't ask for your ID.
They didn't ask for anything.
They didn't ask for an ID. Like, yeah, can I get a 12 pack? Like, okay. What are you, 12? Oh, fuck it. Yeah, those were those spots. Again, you probably maybe remember those kind of times where you would go when you were younger and you would kind of like, hey, I know these spots are not going to ask for an ID. Well,
there's two bad areas, even now, like two not so good areas of Moreno Valley. So it was Edgemont and that area behind that Circle K.
Yeah.
Like those were the areas that you were told.
Well, there was also Mel's Liquor on Indian and Alessandro, for those listening. Which I'm pretty sure they're still kind of like, yeah, he's right. Yeah. They don't ask for ID.
Yeah, so those were the areas you didn't go. But that's where I got picked up for school every day.
Okay.
The school bus picked us up there. And they took us from there. And my first year I was at Butterfield Elementary, which is over behind like where the St. Christopher's Church is.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
So that was I want to say, I think that was my 6th grade year. And then 7th grade, they moved us over off Indian. It's now, I think, the adult education school. So that was actually 2 schools on the same location.
Was that a middle school?
It was a middle school. Okay. So it was supposed to be Badger Springs. It was due to open the following year. And I can't remember what other elementary was there or middle school was there with us. So we shared the campus. It was so weird. So one period, one school would have like the gym for their PE. And then the next period, the other school would have the gym for their PE. And same with the locker rooms and the lunch, the same. So one would have it at 11 and the other one would have it at 12. So that we were on the same campus, but not intermingling the students.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I get it. So as my next segment, this is something new that I'm going to try, but we're going to do the lightning round questions, and this is going to be straight answers. No pauses, no elaborations. Let's just go straight to these answers. So I'm going to go right to it. So a couple of softball questions, and then we're just going to go right into some maybe tougher ones, but you be the judge. Favorite food?
Thai food.
Favorite color?
Black. See any resemblance?
Favorite drink? Yeah, I could see it. I mean, you're literally wearing black. But favorite color? I already said favorite color. Favorite drink?
I'm gonna have to say Thai tea with boba.
Say that again.
Thai iced tea with boba.
Thai iced tea with boba.
Yep.
What's in those boba drinks? I know I'm getting off. God damn it! I'm getting off topic.
They're tapioca, like balls. They're just bigger than your regular tapioca, of course.
Okay.
Because your tapioca are tiny little, pebbles in
Aren't
there.
those hard to suck? I mean, balls?
No.
Yes,
like
I did that
gummies.
purposely.
They're like gummies. It's like
Well, I was just
gummy
thinking
bear.
because of the
They're-
straw. I mean, like, I mean,
No,
I don't
because
know.
they give you the big straw so that they fit through the straw.
True. You're right. You're right. I forget that. Okay. What's your go-to movie that you can watch over and over again?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
You don't have a favorite. You know, well,
So
you're
no,
lame.
I have an issue with
Moving on.
repetitiveness. I can't repeat.
Whatever. Dream car. You're talking to a movie buff, so I'm annoyed. Dream car.
Okay. I have to admit, I sold my dream
go
car.
ahead. What was it?
My Mustang.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would love to have the 64 and a half, but just I had the 68. I would love to own one
Dream
again.
vacation.
I would have told you Hawaii before, but now it's like I want to go to Bali.
Bali, huh? Okay. If you had one wish, what would it be?
To never have to work again and be able to travel the world.
I can see the similarities. If you could bring back one dead artist, who would it be?
Okay, we're not just talking musicians, right?
I guess
Any
so.
artist?
If you want to bring back Pablo Picasso, by all means.
No, I would love to bring back Betty White. I wish she hadn't died. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I just think she was a marvelous person all around in every way.
I'll give you that one. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Dream job. Not to work?
No. I think it would be something giving back to the community.
Okay.
I love being
selfless.
able to volunteer. I worked, volunteering with the homeless for many years, and I would just love to not have to do an actual job for income or be able to do that for an income.
Yeah, because you want to do it, not because you have to do it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was great. It was actually faster than my last guess, so I know we elaborated a lot more, and I'm trying to get better at this. So I'm trying new segments, so bear with me. Let's talk a little bit about you. I mean, you've been married before, right? I mean, I know you're currently married, so how about we talk about that?
Okay, so
if you're willing to talk about it, go ahead.
No, yeah, I started very young.
How old were you?
Got married at 17.
17.
Yeah, so like you.
So was that like your mom or dad had to sign off on that?
Yeah. I actually had to go to court. I had to get permission. It was a whole thing.
You were young.
Yeah. And
was it because maybe a bun in the oven had to speed this up? Was this a shotgun wedding?
Well, okay, so let me go back a little bit. I was in high school. I was actually, on path to what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So initially when I came to the U.S., I grew up in Mexicali. I went to, like I said, I started kindergarten early there. Mm-hmm. I was actually on they call it the escolta over there, which is kind of like, well, not like a drill team, but it is the people that carry like the Mexican flag during the like the parades and all that kind of thing. So I was very intelligent. It wasn't a matter of intelligence, but when we came to the U.S., I didn't speak any English, so they pushed me back a year.
Okay.
And then once I started here, that I was going through junior high and all of that. It wasn't kind of an option back then. Once you got put into ESL, the second language classes, which to me, I heard ESL and I just heard like the dummy classes,
I didn't know there was such a thing.
So it was, once you got put in those classes, you couldn't get out back then.
Really?
And when I got into middle school, I hated it. I was like, well, I understand.
So they pretty much put the kiddie gloves on you over anything and just kind of like gave you just the dumbed down version of all the subjects.
Yeah. So like you would get the GATE classes now, for the smart kids. The ESL classes were the opposite for those that didn't speak English. And I was like, well, I'm not stupid. I just don't speak your language.
So that was junior high, but high school is when you met your future husband?
Yeah. So, so the reason I brought this up is I had to work harder than everybody else to try to get out of those classes. Back then, there wasn't anybody that had gotten out of those classes. And I actually went through like the school district and everything to figure out how to tests to be able to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got into high school, my plan was, well, now I'm going to graduate on time. I had figured out how to take summer school classes and do everything so I can graduate.
That's good.
With my own class, not
yeah. So you did an extracurricular. You probably did summer school.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I remember I did that even before I entered freshman year, which actually gave me a good advantage. I was just a nerd about high school, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, I was planning on graduating again. Well, it would have been ahead of my original class that I was with.
That was the plan.
And I was in junior ROTC, and I was planning on going
ROTC, huh?
ROTC. Wow. I was planning on going into the Air Force.
How have I not seen those photos?
I wanted to be a pilot. I actually already had somebody that offered to write me the letter of recommendation, and I mean, I thought everything was. Is this
military aspirations from like your dad?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no.
Yes and no?
I mean, he was Army, and he always kind of talked about the Army and this and that. But no, I think for me it was more about.
So you just wanted to do it just because you just wanted to do it.
I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be able to fly.
So how many times did you watch Top Gun?
It's funny because it wasn't one of my biggest.
Just kidding.
Movies. That was more my dad. Oh, we have a whole story with my dad about that movie, but. I'm
thinking the volleyball scene right now as we're talking about Top Gun. I'm like, yeah, high fives and slow motion and checking the watch. But anyways,
for me, it was more about bringing women into those roles. There wasn't many female pilots.
So you wanted to challenge the status quo.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So kind of do something that most haven't done.
That others found difficult to do. That there was challenges there.
Okay. So you're in high school and then you meet your future husband. Was it high school or was it outside of high school?
I actually met him before high school. I met him right before my 15th birthday. So it was like, that Mexican thing, the friend of a friend of the friend.
Friend of a friend.
So
I know how it goes, the network.
So my mom's comadre.
Your mom's comadre.
His parents and her parents were from the same city in San Luis Potosí, Mexico. So when he came to the U.S., this was the only family that he knew here, and that was the first family that he stayed with. And so they knew him. And I kind of met him right before I turned 15. I mean, I was a 14-year-old kid. He was 5 years older than me. So at 15 and he was 20, that's...
Really? I didn't know there was such a big age gap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And mom was cool?
No, not at all.
She wasn't cool with it.
Like I said, I just met him at that time. That was before we actually...
Well, I'm just thinking already ahead of time. So I was like...
Yeah, that was before
I mean, she's the one that signed off on the marriage.
Well, that was, just before I turned 16... I saw him again because he had left for like 2 years. He had gone back to Mexico and came back. And then at a family party again, we kind of, met again or, and that time I think he asked me to dance a song or something. And then after that, he just kept coming around looking for me.
So was this during your quinceañera? Did you have a quinceañera?
I did. Okay. I had a quinceañera in Mexicali, and that's a whole other story.
Yeah, well, let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving forward.
But yeah, so I met him, and then he would come out from Orange County to see me because he had a car. I mean, he was older. I was 16, and I was a freshman in high school, and here's the 21-year-old coming to pick me up from school in this cool classic car.
Totally not creepy, but go ahead.
I mean,
if you
talk to any 16-year-old, what 16-year-old is not going to want to have the older boyfriend with the cool car and the job?
But in this era, it's just so different now.
Yeah.
It's like I know back then, because obviously I grew kind of in the similar era. It was kind of like, you always heard of girls that talk to older boys. But then you kind of look at it now in the context of like, well, I'm older. It's like, why would I talk to a high school-year-old kid? It's like...
all of the movies, everything that we watched, even like the old 50s movies, it was the high school girls wanted to date the college guys, right?
I guess.
I mean, they were the cool guys. They had a car. They had money.
It's always been the attraction, I guess, for girls to always date older. But... Yeah, but I never understood the other way around for guys to date younger. It's like, to me, it just...
How young is too young?
Yeah. Which I'm not one to talk. My wife is 6 years younger.
Well, no, but...
Which I was like, hey, where were you at 9/11? I was in 7th grade.
Well, like those...
I was working a graveyard shift.
like the Instagram videos and stuff that you see now, right? Where it's the wife and she says, oh, yeah, my husband always says we should have dated in college. And they're like... yeah, when you were in college, I was in elementary, or like,
I know
it wouldn't make sense.
But for the record, I met her way later in life. She was 19.
Well, I mean, it's like me and Robert now. My
How
second
much?
husband.
What's the difference? What's
8
the age?
years.
8 years.
8
Wow,
years. And we
I didn't
talked
know
about
that.
it, and we're like, well, you know what? What if we had met earlier on in life? And it's like unless it was now that I'm over, 40. It wouldn't make any sense any other time in my life.
I think in your 30s, it makes sense. If you're in the 30s, if you're younger or older, it absolutely makes sense.
I don't think so. I mean, just based on where I was in my life and
31 to 39
life,
isn't a huge difference.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about just the age. I'm talking about where we were in our lives.
I guess.
It wouldn't have made any sense for us until now that we're older. But I mean, in my 30s, I was living my 20s because I got married at 17. I was married for 12 years. I had kids.
I noticed that when everyone says, it's kind of like, yeah, 30s is the new 20s and 40s is the new 30s and 50s is the new 40s.
Well, no, for me, it's not just that though. It was how I lived my life. So in my 20s, it was like I was 50 because I was a mother. I was married. I was, like,
you had to be an adult real quick. You were a wife and a mother at a very young age.
Yeah, so I got divorced at 29. So in my 30s is when, I had never been out partying or drinking or...
Yeah.
So I started partying and drinking when Ellie turned 18, that she could legally drink and party in Mexico. Because then we were going to Rosarito, we were going to Ensenada, we were going to Mexicali, and then...
Which I remember hearing those stories from like Caesar and David, of those Mexicali stories, so I know how that goes.
Well, who do you think they partied with? Who do you think took them out?
Your
who do you
cousins.
think drove?
Yeah.
Well, then because of me.
And you, I guess.
I would go to Mexicali, so they'd go with me, or, if we were out, my parents would let them go out because they knew I was going. So that's when I started partying, but I was always like...
How old were you?
I want to say like 32, 33, somewhere around there. I mean, from 29 on, really, because Ellie's 11 years younger than me. But I want to tell you that I was never like the one that could drink. Like, I would have a drink or two, but I always had to babysit. I was a mother hen. I had to watch everybody around me because I was the oldest one.
Yeah, and you were keeping things cool and in control.
Yeah, like I never had the friends that I could say, oh, I can go out with this friend, and if I get plastered, like, I know they got my back.
Yeah.
No. So. But on the other hand, I had to be that person
I bet.
For the people that I went out with.
I feel I was that person. Like, very rarely did I black out, but I always took care of those friends. And sadly, my car took a beating. With vomit.
Oh, let me tell you, that Suzuki Grand Vitara I owned.
Okay, so you remember the car, huh?
Oh yeah,
mine was an '85 Honda Accord.
Well, mine was a 7-passenger little sports utility, and
do you remember the year?
I think it was I think it was like an 01, because this is a car that I had, with the kids that we would take road trips on. I believe it was like 2 or 3 when I bought it. I think she was little.
Okay.
Because
that car took a beating.
Oh my God, yeah. That car went everywhere you can imagine. I mean, we took road trips with it up to Northern California. I don't know how many times. Every other weekend we were in Rosarito and Ensenada partying it up. We went to LA.
But did it run smooth?
I never had any problems with it. Actually,
mine had so many problems. So it's so funny that I bring this up. So I know I'm back to me, but real quickly, just that 85 Honda Accord, it literally got to a point where every 5 miles, because the radiator was broken, we had to put water in it. So it was like, can we use your hose? Anywhere we went, can we use your hose? Can we use your hose? And we had to keep filling the radiator with water. But it was such a good memory.
Well, I bought my car brand new when I got it.
Okay, well, see, that makes sense.
And then I, I was ready to sell it and buy my next car, I actually ended up selling it to David and Yvette because they had so many kids.
So that's why I remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember a Suzuki, and I was like, I can remember that Suzuki.
That was the car. That was my car. And by the time I sold it to her, it already had 150,000 miles on it.
Damn, and brand new, huh? Jesus.
Yeah, I brought it
You
brand
really
new.
did run it down to the wheels.
Oh, I did.
So going back to your marriage, I mean, let's talk a little bit about that. What was your experience like? What stands out to you?
It was good, but it was bad.
Good, but bad.
I wish we had both been a little bit older and wiser. But, people ask, if you could go back, would you change anything? And no, I wouldn't. I think the experience made me who I am, and
that's very wise of you.
I wouldn't change that, and I wouldn't change my kids. I wouldn't change anything. I mean, it was hard, and let me tell you, the divorce.
People need to realize that those are the struggles that make you who you are, because it makes you stronger.
It does. It taught me a lot of things, like the things I don't want to be, who I don't want to be, the things I don't want to do. And I can't blame everything on him because I think it was a combination of the two people together. I mean, it did become an abusive relationship. I'm not going to say it was it was a good marriage. I mean, but we had our good times. And I think just over time and the damage that you do to each other, it gets to that point. I don't think that he was just a horrible human being and it was always intended to be that to me. But the breakup was very difficult. During the divorce, I honestly thought I was going to lose my mind.
Wow. How old were you at the time?
28 when I started filing for the divorce. And there was times that so the divorce was hard. I was living in Moreno Valley and driving out to Anaheim Hills every day to work. I had 2 children I was trying to raise. I was paying for rent at my parents' home, and I was still having to pay half the mortgage that, the house that he was living at that we purchased together, when he was collecting rent from 4 or 5 people that he had living with him. And we had already separated.
And you had to pay half?
I had to pay half of the mortgage so that he wouldn't stop making payments. That was just...
That's the agreement
that's
signed
just
off
what
on?
he demanded. Yeah, like... It was his way of controlling me, because if he knew that if I didn't have money to spend or to do things, then, or
I'm just looking at it from a business standpoint. And I was like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't
make sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
But that was his way of controlling or having, still having that little bit of leash on you, right? Like, I got you because of this. So
it just limits what you're capable of doing with the money you would do if you had it.
Yep. Well, and then on top of that, it was already difficult, and I was trying to sell the house as soon as possible. And then he wouldn't let the realtor in to show the property because, again, that bit of control, like the longer I can prolong this, the longer, maybe I can get you to come back because we've already been through, I don't know how many gazillion separations. And maybe this time, it's like... And I just was ready to pull out my hair. I mean, I was getting up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning to drive out to Anaheim Hills.
Can I
ask
you something? What do you recall that was good during that time? What stands out to you as maybe a good moment?
We had good times. Gosh, I would tell you, we'd take this trip to Mexicali, but then he'd cause drama over there. We'd go on a road trip and he had to take family with us. Like, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint the good times. But there were some, it's just
little flashes of just like maybe a good memory or a good moment.
No, it's just easier to remember the bad times than the good times sometimes when the bad outweighs the good.
I get it. All right.
And with him, it was kind of like riding a roller coaster, right? So you're on this ride, everything's going smooth, and he thrived. Like he was happier, and I think it stems from something that happened in his childhood. But
I'm sure
thrived
for a lot of people. That's usually the case. It has something to do with like it has like when someone has a bad day and they're barking at you. It really has nothing to do with you. It has a lot to do with what happened that day. So that's in that short term kind of visual that you could see like, okay, this is one day, someone had a bad day and they're fucking, I'm the easy target because I'm in the room.
No, but it wasn't even that. It was just, my life is smooth. There's no problems. Like, I gotta just throw that wrench in and just, everything's got to be chaos for me to be happy, for me to thrive. Yeah. That's what it was with him. Like, I would come home, everything was perfect. There was no problems. There's food on the table. The kids are taken care of. And he just had to figure out what to throw in there to cause just this whole drama to be then. And then he was happy when I was all like, oh my God, like hysterical. Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm cool now.
It's like the misery loves company. So I can see that. I hear that a lot. I see that a lot. It's kind of like, it's like somebody that's just kind of going through it or having their own issues, having their own problems. And guess what? They want to fuck up your day because you're all happy and cheery, and they want you to be miserable just like them because misery loves company.
Yeah, and Emily doesn't remember a lot of it. I mean, she was really little at the time, so she doesn't remember a lot of it. But Junior, he still does. And I still think he still holds a lot of resentment.
I can imagine. So let's fast forward, and you're single, you're free, and you say fuck it to everything. You're enjoying your life. I mean, what? So tell me some of the stories then.
I have 2 instances that I can tell you about. So again, over the control with him, right? While we were married, every time that I would say, I want to go back to school, he'd be like, the day you go back to school, that's the day we get a divorce.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so, someday I want to get
back to school. Bye.
Yeah. Someday I want to get a motorcycle. And he's like, well, the day you get a motorcycle, that's the day we get a divorce.
Motorcycle. Bye.
And I was like, back then it was when the navel piercings were really in, and I was thin. I didn't start getting weight until like I want to say like after 35 is when I started gaining weight. But I was like 124 pounds, and okay. I just, I was like, ooh, that's just not just like sexiness. I just thought it was very feminine to be able to have the navel piercing,
and very rebellious.
And and I didn't want it. I didn't want it out in the open. Like, I didn't want my grandmother to see that, because let me tell you, my grandmother did see that.
She'd do the little like.
No, she was gonna yank it out.
Okay.
She ven para acá, like. Oh yeah, she wanted to pull it out, and I was like, no, grandma. But I would say, I want to get my navel pierced. And he was like, the day you get that done, that's the day we get a divorce. So the day we got a divorce, I went and I got my navel pierced.
Okay.
And
right on.
During our whole marriage, I just felt like I was, coming out of it, I was so controlled by everything, including my fear. And I was so scared of heights. Like, I had painted Junior's room one time, and I was painting his ceiling that dark blue, and I had put up tons of those little glow in the dark stars all over his
I remember
ceiling.
those were very popular in the 90s and early 2000s.
Well, and his were like 3D. I mean, this was some cool stuff that I did to his room, but I couldn't even get up there on a ladder to do it. I had to take this heavy ass wood dresser to stand up on top of, to be able to do it, because I couldn't stand on a ladder because I was so scared of heights. And we're talking like, 3 steps up, not a big deal. But when we got the divorce, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of being controlled, and I'm not going to have anything control me, including my fears. So I took this big hike up in Big Bear. And then they took us out to this old, it's like a train bridge that just kind of, it's off of the side of a cliff, and there's no bottom.
Yeah.
And I bungee jumped.
Nice.
So
there you go.
At that point, I kind of hit it, that fuck it moment.
Fuck it.
Like, just fuck it. Like, okay.
Yeah,
you're not going to control me.
Sirrah.
You're not going to
There we go, YOLO.
Whatever happens. Like, I'm tired of trying to be in control of everything in my life, of trying to control, the future. Like, I don't know what's coming at me. And at this point, fuck it.
Fuck it.
And it wasn't like any specific thing. It was like, hey, you know what? They offered me this other job. Like, am I going to take it? Am I going to, take the security blanket? It was like, you know what? I'm going to take the jobs.
What year was this, by the way?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Yeah, but he must have been like 4.
Some new job, so
like 2000, probably somewhere around there.
2000?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there, because she was like around 4 years old.
Okay. I don't know. I was thinking it was much like mid 2000s, but
No. When this started, it was around the 2000s because I left the job in Anaheim from Anaheim Hills to move out here. And I took this, and you'll understand what I mean by just fuck it. I mean, I took my very secure job that was paying me really well. I took a pay cut, and I took this little job as a front desk clerk at a modular construction company here in Paris.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, it was a pay cut. It was... I mean, what I was doing before to what I was doing there was just a ridiculous. But it made sense to me because one day there was an earthquake and Emily called me all panicked. And I mean, she was little and she's like, oh my God, there was an earthquake. What are we going to do? And I'm like 4 miles away. Like, if I have to, I'll walk home. Like, I'm no longer a 3-hour in traffic drive away from you. I'm right here. Yeah. And that
readily available. And
that security kind of like made me see things clear. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to drive hours for a better paying job. I'm just going to figure out what I need to do to be with my kids here. That job didn't last very long. It was under a year because they actually ended up, I got laid off, but they ended up going out of business like shortly after, like 6 months after. But by the time I got laid off, I already had another lined up job. So I went into State Farm, doing insurance, and I was working again really close to home. I bought a house out in Banning where me and the kids were for about 4 years.
I remember the house. I think it came by one time for a housewarming or whatever party you might have had. How much were the houses back then?
I bought the house, so it was right before.
I know, that's such an adult question to ask. It's kind of like.
No, it was right before the recession, so it was about $120,000 when I bought it.
Fuck.
But then I refinanced, and I refinanced at like $125,000.
And you sold it? Why?
No. Hold on. This was a 900 square foot house. It was tiny. It was 2 bedrooms.
That is tiny.
And 1 bathroom, but the bathroom, surprisingly, the bathroom and the kitchen were really big.
Okay, I get all that, but why did you sell it?
I didn't. I lost it. So the recession hit.
So this is during the recession.
The recession hit, and
we all felt that.
Well, and by that time,
those that were old enough.
Well, by that time, I was no longer with State Farm. I had gone to Farmers Insurance.
We salivate at that. This is adult things when we talk about interest rates and low properties. It's like. Damn, that sounds so good. This is the lame shit we kind of. It's funny. I had a conversation with a friend, and we were literally talking about interest rates. It's like, dude,
no. Let's not get into all that finance stuff, okay? Because you know me, I come from the banking industry.
I know, but I had to ask. It's like, how much did you buy it for? Why did you give it up?
No. The house, honestly, I shouldn't have paid more than $50,000 for it. It wasn't worth it. And then when the recession hit,
it was a decent house.
I was doing Farmers Insurance. I was a notary. I was working through a broker doing real estate. And I was notarizing every home that was sold by them. I was insuring every home that came through there.
So you were working for what large company?
No, it wasn't a large company.
Or a small company?
It was a small company.
Doing what exactly?
It was think of it as I was self-employed. It was my own business, but I was notarizing their documents. I was insuring the homes because I was a farmer's insurance agent.
Oh, and so you were working with insurance. I thought it was mortgage. Because I know my sister, she does that, a whole mortgage thing. And that's why I was like, do you do similar?
No.
Anyways, insurance.
I was actually selling homes. And so I was kind of doing
real estate,
everything.
Yeah,
I was doing everything through that office. But then the market crashed.
Damn, $120,000 though.
Yeah. But by the time this all happened,
my adultness just kicks in and is just like, that's such a good deal.
The house went to foreclosure. You want to know how much they sold the house for?
How much?
$14,000.
Oh, Jesus. God. I'm ready to have a juice moment over here.
Well, I came to the conclusion.
Wow. So why?
Mind you, I've always, and my kids will tell you, I've always been.
The bank sold it for that much?
Yes, the bank.
They just liquidated it. They just said, fuck it. Let's just get any little sliver of money for it.
Every house was in foreclosure at that time. I mean, they had hundreds of houses
that was
in foreclosure.
pennies. God damn it! I wish I would have had money back then.
So, you know,
if this was now, I would be like, we're close to a recession. By the way,
I've always been very financially savvy and responsible. So I had always told I taught my kids, always have that nest egg. At least have 3 months worth in the bank. That if
so how did you deal with it?
Anything happens, I had 6 months worth. And
how did you bounce back?
Well, who would have thought it was going to take you 2 years? 2 years for the market to even kind of
get okay.
Yeah. I mean, I applied for jobs and I was overqualified. I couldn't get a job. I applied at fast food and they told me I was too. I mean, I couldn't find a job for the life of me. So
you know what I did? I just get business cards and I'm like, I'm your handyman. I'm like, I'll do anything, whatever.
She will tell you. I had to get creative because I had 2 kids to support, and I ended up doing telemarketing from home. I was using my cell phone, so I would drop them off at school. I would come home and do nothing but cold calling from my cell phone at home because I had to have some type of income, and it wasn't enough to pay the bills.
Telemarketing for what?
It was
bill collection?
Insurance companies or people that were trying to get, clients. They needed the business, so
I'd be like, can you take me off your call list? Bye. Because I still get those scam like leads, and I'm like, please go fuck off and die. Your warranty is almost over.
No, but I mean, this was more like, legitimate companies. Like, hey, did you want to change your car
insurance? But still, like, lose my number. Don't call me.
So that's what I was doing because I had to feed my kids and I had to figure out a way to do it.
But right now it's like, don't call me.
So after that, I just had to come to the conclusion of like, okay, I got to cut my losses. So what am I going to cut out? Do I go get 3 jobs to support this house that isn't going to pay me back in 20, 30 years? Do I
think again?
Do I keep the classic car and the Mercedes that I was driving at the time?
Oof.
Like, what do I do? So it was like, okay, I'm sorry, but the house has got to go.
I remember that Mustang. That Mustang was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Blue, right?
Red.
I thought it was blue.
No, red.
Why do I remember
candy
blue?
Apple red.
Wow. Then my memory's off. That's why I always tell you, like, people's eyewitness accounts is not credible.
Yeah, it was a candy apple red.
I'm over here thinking blue.
So yeah, I talked to the kids and we kind of, between the 3 of us said, we're unhappy in this house.
That's why I remember my brother had a blue Mustang.
Oh, there you go.
That's why.
That's who had a blue one.
It's like, fuck, you sold it too.
Well, it took me years. It took me years to let it go. That was the last thing I held on to from that time.
I want to buy a classic car.
Me too.
I want to get a Mustang. There was a guy, I went to a car show. Kid you not. He was like, yeah, $9,000. I was like, are you kidding me? This is like a beautiful show car. Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you, my kids are still mad at me for selling it.
But this was like 5 years ago, so I don't know what it is now.
David still talks crap about me selling it.
But fuck, I mean, you had bills?
Well, and like I said, it was the last thing I held on to from that time. I was okay with letting the house go. And, other people were like, oh my God, how did you do it? Like, do you see it as a failure? I was like, no, it wasn't my failure because I was prepared for 6 months. Yeah. I had no control over the economy and my kids weren't happy there.
It was bad.
It was in banning.
It was bad.
Junior hated banning. It really felt like, because I was working so hard and I couldn't be as, at home as much, that they were missing out on me.
Okay.
So the funny thing is we came to Moreno Valley and we rented like the guest house. It was like this back house behind somebody's house, which was it was small. It was like 800 square feet. It was 1 bathroom, 2 little bedrooms, and like a little kitchen living room area.
Okay.
I think those were probably the happiest years that we had. We were very close. How long were you there for? We were there for like, I want to say like 4 years, 4 years. And because I started working for Wells Fargo and then I started working from home, I got to be home with them. Like, pick Amelia up from school.
Yeah.
Just be home when they were home. And even if I was working on the phone, I was home. And I think it was kind of good for them. I think that they felt that security blanket, like,
Yeah.
at least she's here. I know,
And that's, as a mother, obviously you want to provide that. You want to have that, like, hey, we're good, security. It's like, don't have to worry about it. We're all together. And during the recession, again, yeah, it was really bad.
It was tough. It took
I applied at McDonald's and
it took me like
denied.
7 to 10 years to get out of the hole. Yeah, I mean, it was rough.
Well, for the economy, yeah, it took like that 2 to 4 year bump till things kind of got normal. Yeah, it was rough. And I remember like not 2008, but I think it was either 2011. I think that's when you moved to that house with your brother, right? Off Ironwood?
Ironwood, yeah. Well, I moved
was
there.
Was it 11 or 12?
But the kids refused to go with me. Bad move for me.
That's right. I don't remember them being there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad decision.
Okay.
I mean, David would be at work.
What year was that? Was that 11 or 12 or 2000?
I can't tell you. I'm horrible with dates. So
I am bad with dates. Well, I probably have them like.
I mean,
you know what it was? 2009.
I was gonna say before 10 because I wasn't in high school yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was 2009. I remember because I was like, dude, I have a photo of your wedding, and we were there in your backyard.
Yeah. Well, it was there. It was at that house. Yeah.
So it was 2009.
Yeah, I think I lasted like 8 or 9 months there with them. I mean, I was working at Wells Fargo. I had to get up early and go to work. And, I would come out of my room and my door was like
right at the front door.
Right at the front door where everybody was coming in and like facing the living room. So
I remember like saying hi to you a handful of times. You were like,
Well, because it wasn't like once or twice. It was every night they had people there. And I was just...
Me being one of them.
but the people...
I was like, hey, it's my Friday. Can I have a drink? Can I...
Well, but you didn't know. I mean, it wasn't... You didn't live there. It was the people that lived there that I had the problem with.
Was I being loud?
Probably.
No, I was in the backyard having whatever beer or drink.
But, it was just a bad time. Like I said, it lasted like 8 months. And then one day I came home and David was like, hey, Dad's moving back from Arizona and he's going to take over the extra room. And I'm like, what do you mean extra room? There's no extra rooms in this house. No, there wasn't. I paid for 2 rooms. One room was supposed to be for my kids and the other one was mine. But my kids never wanted to be there because of the whole situation. And the other 2 rooms... So
they were just like there on the weekends?
Well, and the other 2 rooms were theirs because they had the master and they had the other room where Adriana and Anthony shared a room.
I remember.
So, no, my kids didn't even stay 1 weekend there. My kids never wanted to be there. So when David was like, oh, the spare room, I'm like, what do you mean spare room? That's not your room. Like, I pay for it, and regardless of whether my kids are in it or not, I'm paying for that room.
You split down the middle because you're probably paying both halves, so obviously you get 2 rooms, 2 rooms.
The lease is in my name. Even
with your bad credit?
The appliances, David had no credit.
Just kidding.
David had no credit. So yes, the lease was in my name.
I know. I was just joking.
The appliances were mine.
Okay.
And then you're telling me that you're taking the room that I pay for, and I was like, I'll tell you what, Dad's moving in. He can take over the lease. And peace, I'm out.
Where did you go?
That's when we rented this back house.
Oh, okay, so that's when we rented. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when the kids were. So it was like
2010-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after that, I got into a relationship with my best friend since I was a kid in Moreno Valley.
What was that like?
It was a great relationship because we were friends and best friends for so long, but it should have never been a personal relationship.
I get it.
It was a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake. I mean, at least I can say that we gave it the shot. Like now, we knew, and
well, you thought it was like something like familiar. So yeah, I mean, I could see how that could be one thing. Like, okay, well, we know each other, so it's not like it's kind of like the devil you know as opposed to the devil you don't know.
But then the breakup was really difficult because I didn't just lose a boyfriend; I lost my best friend.
Oh, I get it. Sucks.
Yeah, and I mean afterwards, because of things that happened between him and I, because because I'm the one that got a job out in Orange County. So I kind of pulled him from Moreno Valley to move with me to Orange County. He met, after we broke up, that he stayed out there. He met someone out there. So he's married now. And I came back to Moreno Valley, and that's when, 2 years later, I met Robert, got married myself. So, I mean, you never know, even though you think life is so bad at one moment, or it's just, you never know where it's going to lead you. And if it hadn't been for those things that happened in my life, I wouldn't have got to where I'm at now. So even if I have something bad happen now, I'm just like, you know what? This is just a stepping stone to get me to that next step in my life.
Yeah, every day and every experience is life lesson. So
yeah,
you always got to take everything as kind of like, well, we're going to learn from this. Even though people kind of see things as like, okay, this is a bad experience, there's always that silver lining where you kind of like realize, okay, what can I learn from this? But other people don't. They dwindle and get depressed, which I wish I could shake them. But you can't.
Well, and we all have different opinions of how we see things, right? I might remember the things that happened in my life a certain way, where, my kids see that time in my life a different way. But, I think the experiences that we take with us only help us become, not necessarily grow, but become a different person. Like, it changes your aspect of how you see things. Like, I've always been very proud of Ivili, because she will see right through people's shit. And she'll call them out on it.
Which is good, because a lot of people don't have that bullshit detector. They kind of just take everything as face value and like, okay, that's the truth.
I didn't have that. And that's why I admire her so much, because I didn't have that. So people would tell me, oh, yeah, this paper is green. And even though I can see it's blue, I'd be like, oh, I must be seeing it wrong. It's got to be green, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And with those things that have happened in my life, and those changes in temperament, and changes in the way I view things, and the way I process certain things that happen, now I'm like, nah, bitch, nah. Why you lying to me? Like, nah.
Why you bullshitting? Come on.
So yeah, but it's taken quite a bit. I always said that I didn't have that bullshit detector. I didn't.
I don't know. I think I've always had that. It's kind of like, not everyone tells the truth.
I always saw the good in people. And I still have to catch myself sometimes.
It's a little naive.
I still have to catch myself sometimes.
It's a little naive.
I've always been the optimist, and I always expect the best of people. And let me tell you, I mean...
What?
We've had roommates.
Yes.
And I think I had told you, like, we had some stories, right? And
what stands out?
Well,
what stories? Let's dive into that.
I'm not gonna say that they're bad roommates or anything like that. No, okay. It's not that. It's more, you want to treat the people that you live with like their family. You want to make them feel welcome. You want to, open up your home.
I get that.
And you want to make them better people. But you can't. Like, there's only so much you can do for someone, but if they're not willing to accept it or do it for themselves, that's it. Like, you got to let it go. So we had one of Junior's friends that was very young. He was the first roommate that we had. And, I try to teach him, like, about finance, about making good, decisions, and just things like that, because he had been homeless for a while. He was living out of his car, and he was paying for this car that just wasn't worth it. And it's like, there's only so much I can do for you. And I mean,
so what happened there?
We even sold him a car so that he could get out of the big payments that he had. He didn't even make one single payment on the car when the car got stolen. But because the car got stolen, now he was like, oh, well, you own the car because I haven't made a payment yet, even though it got stolen from me because I didn't put the club on the car that you purchased for me to put on the car. So it's like, at this point, it's like, Well,
legally, I mean, it is your car until it's been properly signed over and all the paperwork's been processed.
Well, but once you take ownership of it, once you've made that deal,
was there paperwork signed?
I don't want to get into all the.
So again, I work with like details in business. So unless it's written in the contract, then
no, but hold on, it gets better. So
but that's just me.
We got the car back. So because we got the car back, he thinks, oh, it's my car again. It's like, no. The minute you null and voided that contract,
well, you got the car back.
That's it. So,
Okay.
well, we did, but then it got stolen a second time.
Jesus Christ. Where do you live?
It was a Honda.
Where do you live?
No, it didn't. Yeah,
Mobile. Yeah, remind me not to park my car there.
It was an older Honda, but no, the first time.
Oh, yeah. Hondas are easily stolen. Old Hondas and old trucks. Oh, my God. They get, like, taken like hotcakes.
Yeah.
It's like.
But the first time, where was he when it
They're
got
gone.
stolen?
He was parked in front of the house and I got some from in front of the house. And
Okay.
The other time he got arrested because he lost the keys to the club that my mom bought for him.
Mm.
And he was trying to break through the club, and then the cops thought that he was trying to steal the car.
Yeah.
So then he got arrested.
So going back over here.
So
I guess you're going into a lot of detail. How about we go to the point where we tell...
No, but that's what I'm saying. You expect the best out of people,
Mm-hmm.
so...
Yes, you do.
It runs in our family. David does the same thing. If David meets somebody that needs help, David wants to give them everything and
you want to help them out because you do obviously expect the best.
But then we always get disappointed.
What's that saying? It's like no good deed goes unpunished.
Well, because you want to do good, but other people don't do it that way.
It absolutely
and they view it as a weakness.
That way. It's like I've obviously I have a kind heart. I always see the good in people, but I'm quick to flip the switch. It's like, okay, I'm gonna offer you help or assistance or anything, but as soon as you give me the inclination that something's not right, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you right where you at. Like, unless you do good by me, I'll do good by you.
Yeah. But like I said, you learn the hard way.
Well, hopefully you have a more better bullshit detector now.
I do. But you know what? The funny thing is, I've learned from Ellie or Renee. Ellie's
not your own experience.
Ellie don't take.
I was like, I would think about your own experiences.
No, it's
kind of like those are the lessons we learned for ourselves that finally gets it embedded in our heads.
No, you also need examples. If you don't have
examples is one thing. So I'll give you a good little example that I'll tell somebody always, and you got to listen to this too. So it's kind of when someone says like, hey, by the way, fire's hot, don't touch it. By all means, please don't touch it. And the person will be like, tss, and touch it. And until they realize they touch it and realize they feel the flame, that's when the fucking lesson gets embedded in their head. So you can hear it all you want, as many times from outside sources, from everyone else. But until you realize it, go through it, feel the fucking burn. I get it.
No, for me, I had to witness other people. Like,
she's very passive.
Yeah.
Is a thing. So I think maybe she had to I
had to see how other people reacted to it. What were they picking up on?
That you weren't?
On the things that other people were doing that I wasn't. Because you could tell me, oh, that fire's hot. Mm-hmm. And I'd go freaking burn myself 20 times. Because...
Hey, don't touch the electric pellet.
Oh, let me see.
The little hamster just keeps touching it.
Just a curiosity. Let me go see. But I had to see how somebody else, like, what are they picking up on that I'm not? What are they seeing through that I'm not? Because I'm just gonna blindly be like, oh, I trust you. Mm-hmm. It's just how I am.
You have a kind heart.
I do, unfortunately. I mean, and I say unfortunately, I want to keep it, but you want to keep it to a certain level where you still can help people where you can and where it's actually deserved, and not try to just save the world.
Yeah, we all want to save the world. We all want to have that mark on the world in other people's hearts as well. They're like, hey, they made a huge difference. I'm going to remember them till the day I die on my deathbed. Oh my God, they gave me $20 at the gas station. But it's not always the case. I mean, we try our best and we can only do good.
But let me give you an example. As a kid, I was that kid that wanted to be your friend at all costs, even to friends that now I think back and I'm like, you know what, those bitches were talking shit behind my back. And,
yeah, they probably were.
And I've had to it's taken me 40 years to learn how to cut relationships or friendships that died ages ago.
I know. And sometimes we don't realize it, but just because again, it just goes back to like, do you feel some obligation, some type of loyalty, just from those experiences that you kind of shared once upon a time, and you feel like the need that you have to kind of like keep carrying on that relationship after realizing that maybe they're not the healthiest person to be kept around, and you should kind of like maybe just snipped it a long time ago.
Or you have one viewpoint of the friendship when they have another.
Perspective.
Yeah. You think, oh my gosh, we have so much in common. We've gone through this and we have that. But then you look back and it's like, this person was like sneaking behind my back, talking to my ex, doing this, doing that. And it's like, okay, what was I thinking? Like,
people are going to do what they want to do, regardless of what you tell them or what you show them or what example, you kind of like tell them and show them. It's kind of like, people will do what they want, and that's who they are. So we've hit this hour mark, and I'm gonna like wrap this up because I am trying to get this under an hour. So I want to kind of just like, let's close this off and kind of give us some last words of wisdom as far as like what you want to tell to the audience and what you want to share. So go ahead.
I would just say, no matter how hard a time is in your life, there's always a way through it. I mean,
there is.
It's just, sometimes you don't see it. And let me tell you, I've been in some, holes where I just thought I was going to lose my mind. And my kids kept me going. My family has kept me going. But there's just always a way through it. Like, no matter how hard it is, there's always a better time just around the corner. You just can't see it. It's that like the blind corner that you're driving down this curb, can't see it, and you just got to drive around it, because once you get to the other side, maybe that's where the, ocean view comes out, and you just have this bright sunny day. It's just get through it.
Yeah, it's like, it's always darkest before the dawn, and you can't see the sunlight till it rises, and then you realize like it's a new day.
Yep.
And on that high note, we're gonna end it, and thank you so much for everyone listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.